Alright, so unfortunately there's some drama brewing in Philadelphia, as despite the Eagles winning 9 games straight and looking like one of the best teams in football, some recent comments from Brandon Graham have fans worried, as he may have just leaked that 2 of the Birds' most important players are having some serious issues with their relationship. However, BG did eventually take back what he said and apologize for the whole thing. So what is the truth behind this whole situation, and how concerned should Eagles fans be moving forward? Well, we're going to break that all down and more starting right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan, and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And man, do I wish that I had something different to talk about today. Like, why is it that we can just never have a normal drama-free season like other teams? I mean, look at where we are right now. Like, the Eagles are currently on a 9-game win streak, which ties their longest in franchise history. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. For the most part, they've played great football on both sides of the ball. They have an MVP candidate at running back. They got star players across the board. The defense is the best in the league, not to mention the fact that they just clinched a playoff spot for the 4th straight year and have a chance at clinching the NFC East this week in what will be a huge game against the Steelers. So you would think that the talk and narratives around this team would be overwhelmingly positive right now, but of course, in true Philadelphia fashion, that is not the case, as what is an Eagles season without some major drama, you know? Like, it's honestly just hilarious at this point. And guys, like, you have no idea how much I do not want to talk about this right now. But at the end of the day, I kind of don't have a choice because this is what I signed up for, right? But let's just dive in. So basically, after the Eagles win over the Panthers, there was obviously a lot of talk and concern about the Eagles passing game as they had yet another lackluster performance. And after the game, a lot of the guys expressed frustration with the struggles in the passing game and the lack of synchronization on that front. And one of those guys was A.J. Brown, as he said this.
What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on? Passing.
AJ, I know everybody wants to get in a rhythm, and Devontae was acknowledging that. You know, receivers, just like running backs, want to get in a rhythm. How hard is it as a receiver to get into a rhythm when you guys are only throwing the ball like 20 times?
Incredibly tough.
It seemed like there was a moment on...
Now, A.J. Brown was clearly frustrated. There's no denying that. But as I said in my video yesterday, I just didn't see this as a super big deal because, for one, it's not like A.J. was lying with what he said, as the passing offense does need to be better. There is no denying that. And it's not like he came out and just threw Jalen Hurts or anybody else specifically under the bus. He just simply said that the offense needs to be better passing the football, which is 100% true. And it's also not like A.J. was the only one who was critical of the passing offense, as guys like Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Nick Sirianni, and Jordan Mailata all made similar comments as well, and Mailata specifically was particularly harsh in his description of the passing offense, yet nobody seems to want to make a big deal about that, and all the attention immediately goes to A.J. Brown to try and drive the narrative that he's upset about his individual numbers and his targets or something like that. But again, I just didn't see it that way. And apparently neither did the Hall of Famer Ray Didinger, who said this on WIP.
Seems to be the people are taking this as AJ's unhappy about his role. AJ's unhappy about his catches,
well, clearly,
his production. No, well, no, I don't know. I mean, I think what he was expressing there was an overall concern about where are we as a passing team. You know, where is our passing offense right now?
Sure.
Is it good enough? It's not just, oh, I'm not getting my catches, I'm not getting my yards, I'm not getting my touchdowns. I mean, I didn't see it as a selfish, as a wide receiver, diva wide receiver pounding his chest saying, I want mine.
Exactly. Like, I mean, AJ never said anything about his individual target specifically. He just said that the passing game needs to be better as a whole. Now, that being said, is AJ most likely a little bit frustrated with his role and his targets recently? If I'm going to speculate, I'd say probably, but the important thing is that he has never come out and actually said that. And come on, like, tell me you wouldn't be a little bit frustrated if you were one of the best wide receivers and players on the planet, yet somehow you're not targeted for pretty much an entire game straight between the second half of the Ravens game or the first 4 series of the Panthers game, despite being open plenty of times. And you can see that on this film breakdown by Emmanuel Acho.
If A.J. Brown, bottom of the screen, if he wasn't upset, y'all, I'm telling you, he wouldn't be human. It is human for him to be this open. He's open. Let it rip, Jalen. He's open. You're looking at him. The ball's cocked. Let it rip. Watch him. Man in the pink cleats. Let it rip. 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 The very next time, the Eagles run essentially this exact same play. The same play. Roughly the same play. In breaking route. This time, Jalen does let it rip. Completion. A.J. Brown. Break tackle. First down. Man in the pink cleats. Top of the screen. Hey, it's one-on-one, Jalen. It's one-on-one. Post safety's not even leaning his way. You have A.J. Brown, a top 5 receiver in football, one-on-one, and the post safety is not even leaning his way. Give the man a shot. If A.J. Brown was not upset, he would not be human.
Definitely not a fan of Acho, but it's no secret that Jalen Hurts didn't have his best game, and AJ clearly has a reason to be frustrated with not getting the ball when he was wide open. Like, again, the guy was consistently open, so for the ball to not come his way has obviously got to be maddening, and on top of that, he's obviously a great player, so while it's important for him to control what he can control, he naturally wants the ball, and he wants to make plays for this team, and Nick Sirianni knows that better than anybody.
AJ is a great football player that we always are trying to get the ball in his hands. There's no doubt, because he's a great player. It doesn't always work as simple, as easy as that. There's other factors. I know he wants the football because he knows how much he can help our team when he touches the football. Yeah, again, I know that AJ is a great teammate and a great person, and those things I know for sure about AJ.
I think what Coach said towards the end there is the most important thing. Like, all these narrative pushers may not want to believe it, but AJ is a good teammate, and it's really not about the individual numbers for him. Rather, he just wants to win and play up to the standard, and he feels like he can contribute more when he has the ball in his hands, but he just hasn't gotten many opportunities to do that recently, even when he's been open. So it's only natural for him to be a little bit frustrated, and you could clearly see that in the press conference. So should he have reined in the motions a little bit more? Probably, but again, at the end of the day, I just didn't think it was a big deal. Again, I didn't see him taking any shots at anybody specifically, and I thought he was just being critical of the overall passing offense, so again, I did not have a problem with what he said. But apparently, one key figure in the Eagles locker room doesn't quite feel the same way, and this, of course, has been the main source of all the drama in the past 24 hours, as Brandon Graham went on WIP radio on Monday night, where he was pretty openly critical of how AJ handled his frustrations, but what's crazier is that he also possibly seemed to leak that maybe AJ Brown's relationship with Jalen Hurts isn't exactly the best.
The person that's complaining need to be accountable, and I'm just being honest, you know what I'm saying, like, and he know this. I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business. And that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because, man, it's like a lot of stuff, most of the time, it's just a conversation that just need to be had. But the person with the problem gotta want to talk to the person other than others. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Man, where do we even start with that? Like, there's so much to get into there. And I guess the thing that grabs headlines is BG pretty much saying that Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown are having some personal issues in their relationship. Now, I have seen a lot of people saying that Graham just worded it poorly and he meant to say that Jalen and AJ were friends before they were teammates, but now that they are teammates, it's hard to balance their friendship and also do business. But I'll be honest, like, as much as I want that to be what BG was trying to say, it just didn't sound that way to me. And I actually sat and watched the full interview, and he just kept going back to what sounds like a possible rift or tension between AJ and Hurts right now, and he kept emphasizing the importance of them just being able to have a conversation and work things out. And he was particularly critical of AJ throughout the interview, as BG just kept indirectly saying that Brown needs to be willing to go hash things out with Hurts rather than talking to the media about it. So if all that stuff is true about Jalen and AJ's relationship, then that's obviously a terrible sign as we get closer to the end of the season. But what I think is perhaps the craziest part about this whole thing is that BG was literally doing exactly what he was telling AJ not to do in talking to the media rather than going to AJ and Jalen directly and keeping these matters in-house. And as a 15-year veteran who has played his entire career in Philly, he should know better than that. But naturally, with the incredibly negative reaction, it wasn't too long before BG walked back and apologized for his comments. And this is where things get a little bit more interesting. And don't worry, we're going to get into that in just a minute, but real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and you don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this coming throughout the rest of this entire season, then make sure you subscribe, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of the Eagles coverage I got coming on this channel. I cover the Birds pretty much daily here, so if you want to stay up to date on all the latest Eagles news, this is the spot. So again, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And also, while you're at it, make sure you also drop a like, because that really helps me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, just hours after BG's comments on WIP became a massive story, the 15-year vet walked back his comments and apologized to AJ and Jalen when talking to ESPN's Tim McManus, as he said, quote, I just assumed about their friendship and made me out to look even worse because I had it all wrong, and now people are going to run with that part. I really just want to win, man, and I want brothers to be able to hash it out. I'm going to make sure I apologize to both of them. And then he later said, quote, I wasn't trying to be divisive, I just didn't want us to use the media in a bad way. I can't do that either. If I've got something to say, I've got to go to the people too. And BG continued to walk back his statements while taking accountability for what he said this morning on WIP.
First, I want to start off by just, apologizing to my guys. I was going to see them today anyway, but I wanted to start here first publicly since we all was here, because I didn't want to make this. I made the assumption. I didn't know all the details, and I still don't. And I was just like, dang. I really just saw everything that y'all saw with the video, and I just was reacting to that, and I should have used a little more logic on it. But it was more just on me just wanting to, just wanting people to pretty much just, man, I just want to win pretty much. And for me, I know that I didn't add to everything that I said I didn't want him to do. I did too. And, I want to own that as always. We got to stand up through the good and the bad. And so right now, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a great thing because chaos definitely, create diamonds. Well, pressure makes diamonds. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this about to be something that we gonna bounce back from really good. And, we all make mistakes. And, this was one of my mistakes that, you're never too proud of no mistakes, but it's something that I'm definitely learned from. And I know for sure them guys, when I do talk to them, they gonna understand where I'm coming from as far as, just on why I assume, just based off the video with AJ. And, man, I know we gonna get right because, man, them boys definitely want to win. That's why he was frustrated. I'm a ride with AJ on the frustration, because he just want to win. He a winner. All of us just want to win for the city, and we all, made some mistakes in this.
So I guess it's at least good that BG did end up taking accountability and owning up to his mistakes, and this definitely makes me feel a lot better about the whole situation. And I'm not going to spend too much time ripping into BG for what he said. Like, was it dumb? Sure, but he apologized for it. He's a legend, so let's just try and move on from that. But at the same time, you do have to question whether his more recent comments and his apology are fully sincere and true, or if he just realized how bad that he messed up and he's just trying to do damage control at this point. That being said, though, it is just really hard for me personally to believe that Jalen and AJ aren't friends at all anymore, or that they have serious beef between them. This is them just 2 weeks ago in a game against the Rams looking pretty happy to be balling together, and then this is them along with Devontae Smith just before the Panthers game a couple days ago praying together, so they look to be alright to me. And then on Tuesday morning, Nick Sirianni was on WIP where he chimed in as he said that he didn't take AJ's comments as a shot at Hurts, but more as a critique of the overall passing game, which he is a part of. And he also said that he knows a lot more about Jalen and AJ's relationship than the public, and that he sees them eating lunch together all the time. So whatever issues are going on, whether they're existing or not, again, it's just hard for me to believe that they're too serious. Oh, and by the way, that's without mentioning the fact that AJ literally signed an extension this offseason with the Eagles, knowing that Jalen is locked in as well for a long time. And also, Jalen Hurts is the literal godfather to AJ's daughter. So, how bad could things really be? And here's what I'm hoping, because now, unfortunately, all the talk this week is going to be about this and the struggling passing game, rather than the fact that this team has won 9 straight games and they have a chance to get the NFC East title this week. But I'm just hoping that the Eagles can come out against the Steelers and shut everybody up. Like, obviously, the identity is in the run game, so I don't want the Birds to get away from that at all, but when they do throw it, they gotta be more effective than they were last week. And a big part of that is making sure that AJ Brown touches the football early and often. And yes, obviously, Jalen had a bad game last week, but regardless of what a large portion of the fan base may want to say, he doesn't suck, and he is very capable of throwing the football effectively. We've seen him do it in years past, we've seen him do it this season, so I think he can get back to that. Now, recently, he has been pretty conservative with his throws, but in this game, it'd just be good to see him just cut it loose a little bit more and make some more of those anticipatory throws to AJ Brown and to Devontae Smith that have been missing recently. And overall, it sounds like getting the passing offense right is a big emphasis for the Birds this week. So we'll see if Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and the Eagles passing attack can get back on track this week versus the Steelers, and you guys already know that I'm going to be covering all the news leading into that matchup. So again, if you don't want to miss any of that, then make sure you subscribe and also really importantly hit the notification bell as well. And also make sure you drop a like to show some support if you did enjoy this video. Again, it really does help me out a ton. ton. Let's see if we can get to 600 likes today. And also, just leave a comment regarding anything that I talked about in this video. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Like, honestly, guys, I really did not want to talk about this today, but it's the big story, so I had to cover it. Anyways, give me your thoughts on that down in the comments below. And also, if you want to watch another Eagles video going over their win over the Panthers, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.